I'm sorry, I didn't hear you because I was watching him snap pictures.
Not you.
This is going on Instagram. We're gonna see it on Instagram later.
For the fathers, if you had an opportunity to do it all over again, would you, or what would you have done differently?
Good question.
And we got to answer this kind of quick because this is our last segment.
I wouldn't have went to prison, but at the same time, that's where I had the opportunity to grow.
Right.
So I mean, at the end of the day, although I would love a relationship with my children, I don't think I would change a thing, because those life lessons taught me to be the man that I am
right. We didn't get a chance to get into that, but that was a part of it too. If y'all see at the top of the page, pain builds character. And a lot of times you get a lot of pain with you not being in the
pressure
home.
bust
From
pipes.
the child's perspective, you get a lot of pain.
But it also makes diamonds.
I'm sorry?
Pressure bust pipes, but it also makes diamonds, creates diamonds.
Yeah. Well, I just got the buster pipes. I didn't get the diamonds yet. I'm gonna take your word for it.
I'm not gonna go there.
No, y'all gotta get high like y'all get me. That's okay. We ain't got time. We're gonna get next time.
Yeah.
What would you have done differently?
You know what? To piggyback off of what he said, man, I wouldn't change nothing, because I wouldn't change anything, because I believe the real meaning of life is to go through everything you're going through, because it builds your character. The pain brings wisdom. You know what I'm saying? That's what's needed for the spiritual growth. You know what I'm saying? I believe we're here to grow as spirits, and all our lessons we learn, you know, whether it hurt or not, you know, it's all necessary. So,
Blaine, could you give us a quick?
Yeah, I wouldn't change nothing.
Wouldn't change a thing. Our next show is the child's perspective. So a lot of what I'm saying is based on the next show, how a child perceived it. If I'm saying as a child, I'm going to end this show with the way I'm going to start it next week. What I would do differently is ask. You know, be clear about what I want. Like you're saying, your daughter is projecting, or she's, you know, lashing out, stuff. I think as a child you don't see it that way. We just don't say, I just wanted to spend some time with you. Sometimes you just call and ask a pointless question just so that you can hear your father's voice, and they like, what? You know, what you want? Or you know, but there's nothing that I want. I kind of just want to talk to you. But a child just can't say, I ain't want nothing. I want to talk to you, you know. So I think I would do that differently if I had the opportunity to do it over again. Just say what I want, and at least then I don't have to assume if he's doing it this way or that way. If I tell you that I want to spend some time with you and you don't come, then you told me that you don't want to spend any time with me. You know, instead of giving you the excuse to say, well, she ain't want nothing anyway, you know, or well, she just wanted to find out how you get the TV on channel 54, you know, something like that. So I want to let y'all know, I know with everything that it was kind of confusing and all of that, but y'all, you know, held it down with us. I truly appreciate it. Next week we'll have the second part to this show, Taking Fathers. Hopefully the situation will be fixed. I believe that it will be. If not, then you're going to see it same way, same place, same time. Thank you to my guest, Mr. Paul Jackson.
Not a problem. It was an honor.
My guest, Mr. Kevin Little.
No doubt.
And of course my co-host and guest co-host, Mr. Blaine, Leslie Swirl, and Lisha G. Thank y'all. Sunset Soul. We will see y'all next week.
Peace.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Welcome to Sunset Soul. I'm your host, Love Dawn. I have with me tonight Miss Leslie Swirl and Mr. Nate from the Artist Exchange. Nate, do you use your last name officially?
Only when I'm signing the check. They sign the check.
Mr. Nate it is from the Artist Exchange.
You need to know how to sign my name.
Bash type blue, Couser.
Listen, I'm not sure if y'all are downtown or en route. What is going on right now is Jazzy Summer Nights. When does it start?
6 o'clock and already started.
Oh, it already started, yeah.
Okay, when I say scarcely got a park, I don't even know how I got that park out the front.
That's why I messaged you, because I knew it was going to be, it was already getting thick down here.
I had somebody drop me off.
And I got more nervous as I got close. I was like, oh my goodness, because I was right at the top of St. Paul. and they was not trying to let me turn at all. So listen, if y'all are en route, I mean, it's looking like y'all gonna probably have a pretty good time based on the crowd that's out there.
Wasn't that bad when I was coming through.
That's the rush hour stop.
Yeah. So then you had rush hour and you had the.
I don't know why they would start it at 6 if rush hour is 5 to like 6:30. That's stupid.
That's from like 3:30.
There's a Morgan Knight that's in charge of it, so they don't know no better.
I definitely made it. Thank you, and thank you to my guests who pressed. I'm quite sure that was not an easy commute.
No, it was
anything
not.
Like he was already down here. He was already here, but thank you anyway. Miss Lisha G is out of town right now. For work.
We miss you.
We miss you, Lisha. Listen, she had a birthday yesterday.
So she So she hungover.
She's not hungover. She is at work doing her thug thizzle. You know, she in that good old suit talking to the big wigs. Okay. And where she's in? Colorado? Denver? She's in Denver. I was gonna say that, but I didn't want to say that. I didn't want to say that. But I'm hoping that she's did something for her birthday. I did post it on the Sunset Soul page, and several people did wish her a happy birthday. But I wanted to make it public here while we're talking before the show even starts. Thank you for always being there for me, Miss Lisha G. They being so rude right now. And being an awesome co-host, and we will see you. Not sure if she'll be here on next week or not. But
well, that's a good birthday.
What? 2 weeks off?
Yeah.
Oh, she having a ball. I hope she having a ball.
She better bring back some.
Last week, we talked abstinence. Well, we talked sex, but abstinence, and if what it was that you should, what works for you. That's how we basically ended it. Hello, I see everybody tuning in. Thank you so much for tuning in with us. Hey, Mr. Warren, he was with us last week as well.
Hola.
So our topic was abstinence, and I got jumped on because they felt as though I was more pro sex. I don't think I was more pro sex. I think that I was playing the role of devil's advocate. Mm-hmm. People, see things differently. Some people feel like sex is a necessity. Some people feel like it's not a big deal. We went back and forth with that. I think people change with the weather, if you ask me. I think if you ask somebody on a Monday, it's not important. If you ask somebody on a Friday night,
they're getting it in.
Yeah, right. So I was being honest. And at the end of the day, I end with, that's why I don't got my glasses on. I end with the fact that I don't believe that, maybe I shouldn't say I don't believe it. I just don't feel that having that sense of inner peace and being serene and one with yourself and focusing on, I ain't even going to say the higher power more, so I don't want to say that because that's insulting. But I don't think that's enough. I think that that's sufficient. I think that that's good if that's where you want to go. That's a place, that's your destination in life. But then when you reach that and you want to turn around and tell somebody how awesome this experience was, is nobody right there.
But what does that have to do with sex?
Well, that's what I'm saying. The intimacy of it all. It wasn't just about sex. Well, maybe it was. I don't know. But I'm saying that's how I felt. I think the two. I don't think it should be completely done with. And that's what some people teach. Celibacy, just
celibacy is not to be done with it. It's to learn how to focus on your life. And if sex is a big part of your life, that's a problem because that's all you have.
I don't mean a big part. I'm just saying a part. And it don't have to be a huge part to be an important part.
Right, but if it's an important part, wouldn't you want to save it for somebody
that sounds
important?
Good. I think that sounds good.
It does sound good.
I don't think that's
Have you gotten some? Because it sounds like you haven't.
No, well, as you can see, I just had my hotel room bout. So that's irrelevant if I did or if I didn't, or want it or don't want it. I am not here for complete abstinence, is all I'm saying. I don't think that, and if you're doing it for a purpose, I'm not saying don't do it. I'm saying, like, let's just use my mother. My mother. Oh, no, she about to tell her mother business. Well, she ain't good. She was married to my father all of my life. you know, all my life. And I think they got separated when I was about maybe 3 or 4 or so. But my mother stayed married, and she stayed the course. My father, on the other hand, there have been
How
several
you know she
women.
stayed the course?
What, to my knowledge,
Right.
I don't believe that she did anything. Like, her focus was solely work and church and work and church. That's all she did. That was her only focus. She wanted nothing else.
But sometimes I want to be like that, and sometimes I'm just like.
And to me, I don't think that was particularly healthy. I think that we need other
balance.
Well, we went through that all last week. You need to watch last week's show. Then all the benefits of sex that she wasn't getting because she wasn't having sex. So but the what Lisha was speaking on was other ways to offset those benefits, and some of them mirrored each other. There were some things that came along with sex that also came along with abstinence. So it wasn't that you were lacking. I'm not knocking abstinence. I'm just saying, to a certain point, yes, focus on you. Yes, you know,
if you don't have your things in order, you don't need to be having sex.
I agree.
You don't, and just having a home over your head. If you are behind your schedule, you don't need to be having sex. Is a it makes you comfortable. Yeah, it makes you comfortable in where you are. Like, you could be going through foreclosure and somebody giving it to you, right? And it doesn't matter. It's just like weed. Like, sex is a drug.
I don't know any sex that's gonna make me not care about foreclosure. None.
I'm just saying, it could be a distraction.
It's an addiction.
Yeah, it's an addiction.
You need to point me in the direction of whoever that is that make you forget about foreclosure. Times is hard. I need that in the pocket. I need to have his number just in case. God forbid I get foreclosure. But you know, now that I know there's an upside to the foreclosure, then, you know, maybe. But this week, going along with the theme of sex, is open marriages. And before we go into the whole conversation of the open marriages, let me just say, I talked to more people this week about open marriages than I have
ever
for any show. I mean, like, I did research for every show that we do. Y'all know I'm Google Queen. I'll study it. But this is the first show that I can say I had this much dialogue with people and their opinions. And what is the most shocking thing of all is that our generation, we're the millennials, right?
No, that's after us.
You don't know how old I am.
I'm not a millennial.
What, are we still in the baby boomers? X, which one is it? We the baby boomers still?
How old are you?
I'm 41.
Oh, yeah,
you're a baby boomer. We baby boomers too?
41.
No,
I'm a millennial.
I look at millennials like 30 and under.
No, it's 35 and under.
35 and under is millennial?
Oh, yeah. I'm not a millennial.
So we baby boomers.
Yeah.
I don't want no parts of the millennials.
That's probably why we feel.
But it's a big gap for millennials. It's a huge window for millennials than it is for like baby boomers. It's like a 10, 11 year for baby
Warren
boomers.
said we Generation X.
It's whatever.
So it's baby boomers, which was 60s, 70s and all that, right? X, and then millennial. Okay, so we X. X is to me abstract. It could go either way, and that still go in line with what I'm saying, because the millennials.
Your parents will probably be baby boomers.
Right.
What is baby boomers? Like
that's
50s,
like
60s?
70s.
Yeah.
I'm 70.
You were born in 70. So
you are Generation X, I believe. But you're not baby boomer. Your parents were baby boomers.
Well, they can be baby boomers.
But the point that I'm making is the younger generation, like I said, millennials more so, were the ones who was not here for the open marriage. Not one millennial that I talked to.
Millennial?
Yeah. Not one. And I talked to several. There's one word.
Were they 30s millennials or were they 20s millennials?
They were 30 and under.
Okay. Yeah.
They were 30 and under.
Well,
I don't think I go ahead.
Read some stuff because I did look on the internet for this kind of stuff, but they said the millennials are like, they're way open-minded about the whole open-minded marriage.
Traditional.
I'm sorry. Let me just say this. Bishop Gardner said that Pew identified 4 generation groups for American adults. Millennials currently between the age of 18 and 34. Generation X between the age of 35 and 50. And baby boomers age 51 and 69. And the silent generation between 70 and 87. Silent generation is just that silent. We didn't talk to them.
The surprising, but the probably more of them than there is the millennials.
But listen, that's the point that I'm making. The millennials was the one that was not here for the open march. Not one. Every one of them said one word: selfish. I'm too selfish for that. That's all you heard. I'm too selfish for that.
That's me.
Starting with Nate, because this is where we started from last week's show. Hey, LaVar, how you doing? Thank you for tuning in. What was the next? Generation X, which is our generation. I'm saying the X's be fitting because those are the ones, including myself, that were open to the conversation. That's like we can talk about it. You know,
because you need him there to pay bills, but you want to really get your attention outside. Like, that's crazy.
But that ain't really.
It is.
That ain't the main reason.
I know plenty of people in that bracket, that 35 to 50, that are in relationships, marriages, because they don't want to split up because the bills are too much.
But
it's cheaper to keep her on both sides.
That concept usually is for baby boomer generation. The older generation. But listen, we just now getting started. All of y'all who are still tuning in, please do me a favor and like and share this video so that others can take part in the conversation. When we come back from commercial break, you can call us at 410-702-5657. If you have some input, you already know we reading your messages here on Facebook Live, but we are just getting, so we haven't even gotten to half of not even the tip of my notes yet. Juicy conversation. Stay tuned.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com, the home of Talk Lately with Monty, every Tuesday at 7 p.m.
Free stuff for you just for listening to this station. Yo, we got your attention? Here's how it works. You click on the Radio Loyalty banner right now and sign up. Then you keep on listening like you already do. But now you earn points. Those points add up, and you can trade them in for cool stuff in the Radio Loyalty store. Earn more points by sharing your station with friends on Facebook and Twitter, answering surveys, and by using the apps in the New Players App Store. Pretty simple. Free stuff just for doing what you already do. Radio Loyalty. Click the banner to join now.
There's a rumor going around that Tyler Perry and Oprah are beefing. Well, let me tell you about this. Tyler, told Oprah, bitch, if you don't have my money, we're going to have a problem. Ooh. Oprah said, what is the problem? Ooh. You said if I don't have your money, there was going to be a problem. So Oprah is standing her ground like, bitch, I'm in charge. You know, you may have a $250 million studio over there that you film all your shows and movies and stuff on, but I have the empire. That's what Oprah said.
Oh, these are her exact words. Allegedly.
I made this up. But
allegedly.
I made it all up. But there was a rumor that they were beefing. But Tyler confirms that they don't have any issues. So it says it was recently reported on the rumors that was swirling that the twosome were on the outs over constructive criticism over Perry's show. Well, I got some constructive criticism, and we can be on the outs, Tyler, and I don't give a damn because I'm going to make a promo out of this anyway and share it to your page. I need the scenes on Have and Have-Nots to be like 5% shorter, each one. I want you to watch an episode of The Young and the Restless, because this is supposed to be a soap opera. No one's dialogue on The Young and the Restless is like this. You don't have to talk about the random plant in the corner for 25 minutes on one damn scene.
They talk about random plants.
It was a blood stain on the floor for 5 episodes. I can't take it. We need to kick this up. I'm sorry. I love the Have and the Have-Nots, and I continue to watch it in its 5th season. But I get so mad when I can go get myself a glass of water and come back, and he had just started the next sentence in his first paragraph. I can't stand it.
They just want to get the point across.
It's not but you don't get the point for 4 episodes. It's too much. So, now according to ET Online reports, Tyler Perry has a pre-cut and dried response to a pretty cut and dry response to the rumors about him and Oprah. Here's what he says. It's completely false.
What was that? That was your Tyler Perry impression? Oh God. What?
That was my Medea voice.
Oh, gotcha.
Nothing is accurate in this article except for mine and Oprah's names. That's what he said. I mean, you see what I mean? You gotta stick around. I mean, every Tuesday at 7 p.m. I mean, they pay us to do this. So we go off every week right here on BeExposedRadio.com.
Hey everybody, check out what you missed on the one and only Be Inspired radio show.
Focus on the word take for a moment.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. I mean, when I begin to just, think about take. Mm-hmm. When you taking something. Mm-hmm. Yes, we think about, the possession and grab and hold, but when you taking something on, you're capturing it, you're securing it, and you become impregnated with that.
Wow.
Tune in to Be Inspired every Wednesday live at 7 p.m. right here on BeExposedRadio.com.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
We're back. Before we went to commercial break, we were just now starting a discussion of open marriages and why it was the millennials were here for it. I'm sorry, vice versa. The millennials were not here for it at all. I mean, not. There was not even a moment of, I don't know, that indecisiveness came from Generation X, our generation of, I would consider it. Now, you remember, I'm quite sure you've had the conversations either with your parents or somebody when you were growing up, when they said, when you get to about 20 some odd, mid to late 20s, you're going to start seeing things differently. After 30, like that light bulb is going to go off. Things change.
My light bulb didn't go off. Your
expectation, your list shrinks, all those things. Everything becomes a conversation now. Versus in the 20s and your teens and 20s, it was like it's my way or whatever.
My way.
Do you think that got anything to do with why our generation is now more? Or you ain't in it. Like our generation, me and Leslie. We're now more open-minded because we are at a certain age now of
but you're forgetting
compromise.
You're now the age that your parents were when they said it to you. So you're not realizing that. You're not realizing. So they're at an age where they're willing to compromise on some things because the time
we done been together forever,
right?
And y'all not going nowhere.
And we got to figure out how to make this work. Let's negotiate. You're in the negotiating phase right now. And then once you get older, it's not going to be a negotiation. No.
It's not
no,
happening.
It's not.
So, okay. So the first question on the floor is, are you open to having an open marriage? You saying absolutely not?
Nope.
This is a millennial talking. Baby boomer. I'm sorry, X.
Generation X.
X. Are you here for it or no?
Back in the day, I was okay with it. Because at that point, when stuff going like down, you wonder, what can I do? And they be like, well, maybe if I okay it, he'll be cool with it, and then it'll spark something that's missing.
Yeah, the other person that's missing.
That's when you add somebody else.
The way I've been answering that question all week is I'm open for the conversation. That was the way I'm open because I'm just open to talk about it.
There has to be trust.
So you willing to bring another person into your
bedroom? I'm open to discussing that.
So are you more open to bringing another person in your bedroom or letting that person date somebody else separate from you?
No, because that's where trust and honesty comes in. Like if I'm
open. Listen, when it comes down to now, let me be clear.
Because
I'm not open to my boyfriend. I'm talking about this is a marriage. I'm open to doing or becoming whatever it is that my husband need me to become. That's the truth. Rachel not here for it. She say no. Rachel, you with me, so you Generation X too. So, but you flat out no.
I'm gonna like that, Rachel. That's me liking it, Rachel.
You here for it or no? Thank you. Are you X or baby boomer or millennial? X? I told you.
There you go, baby.
X is open.
Go ahead.
It's just y'all.
How old are you?
34.
Oh yeah, he still got a couple years.
But look, by next year, you're gonna change your mind.
Yeah.
It's not because it's not up for negotiation. I won't negotiate my space with anybody else. So to keep somebody or to keep this move, well, I'm better all by myself. I'm not doing that.
Warren said no, he's not open for it.
Dinner for 3 people. No, I'm not doing
but
that.
you know,
I'm not saying consistency.
Okay, hold up. Warren said no. He thinks I think given when Generation X was raised, things were more traditional, so to speak. So Warren, you're saying no because of the way you were raised. You were a traditional family is what you're used to seeing. And that's cool. I just don't think. I'm not saying I want to do it. I said I'm open to the conversation.
For the conversation, that's
and
it.
I think that generation is more open to it because their parents were not. Most times, their mother wasn't given that option for it to be an open relationship.
And most times, their mother was cheated on.
Right. So they're now. Well, let's talk about it more. No, it's for me. There's nothing to talk about. The moment it become a conversation piece. So when you leave it. That's for me. That's just where I'm at it.
So do you believe? Let's just now we're speaking as either possibility or absolutely no. Outside looking in, do you believe having ground rules when having an open marriage is enough to ensure the lines not be crossed?
They're gonna get crossed sooner or later.
You think there's no way of getting around that?
There has to be rules, just like there's rules in everything you do, but that one person is going to try to take it to the next, take it to the next, take it to the next step, like outside those rules. But then, what are you willing to deal with?
But you have people who have been married for years, and they have open marriages. They have clear ground rules, and it works for them.
The moment you got to set rules, there's a problem.
But what I'm saying is, I don't mean you have to cook every night for them. That's not them moving in. That's not them.
So where does this go? We just playing at this point? That's dangerous.
No, your relationship is secure. You and your wife or you and your husband are secure. If this outside person is no different from, I don't want to use the term a toy, but this is you're enjoying each other. But that doesn't mean you're bringing them in as a part of your relationship.
So are you asking as open marriage, are you bringing people in just for sex, or are you talking about like polygamy type of stuff?
That depends on. Okay, look, we're gonna go back to a commercial break. Lisa, she's not here for it at all.
Thank you, Lisa.
She said absolutely not.
Amen,
Deshane said, "Why have vows if you're going to make room for rules?" I get it.
Thank you.
I get it. Listen, before we go to commercial break, celebrities. We've known celebrities to have had open relationships mainly because of their status. Do you think money, power, or position changed the rules to marriage? That's the question on the floor when we come back. Stay tuned. We just getting started.
Check out this flashback from the Artist Exchange radio show.
So you're your biggest asset. You have to practice self-care. Every entrepreneur has to practice self-care. You have to release yourself from toxic situations.
Explain to us real quick, what is a toxic situation?
A toxic situation is something that will control your mind, something that hurts you, something that you have to battle. Toxic. Hurt. If you're in a toxic situation, if you get hurt, if you get pain, if you get struggle, right? And if your spirit does not align correctly, that may be a toxic situation. So when I say you make that jump when your values don't align, you make decisions based on your values. And if those decisions don't align with your values, then that's when you say no.
Tune into the Artist Exchange every Friday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m.
Listening
every Saturday,
to
12 p.m. to 2 p.m.
BeExposedRadio.com.
Man, it is what it is. Man, it is what it is. Well, it is what it is.
This fly T Miles, also known as Tyree Miles and Mr. Miles the
writer.
Hip Hop King. Check us out every Friday on Be Exposed Radio at 9/11.
Coming to y'all soon.
Check out this flashback from the Artist Exchange radio show.
So you're your biggest asset.
Mm-hmm.
You have to practice self-care. Every entrepreneur has to practice self-care. You have to release yourself from toxic situations.
Explain to us real quick, what is a toxic situation?
A toxic situation is something that will control your mind, something that hurts you, something that you have to battle. Toxic. Hurt. If you're in a toxic situation, if you get hurt, if you get pain, if you get struggle, right? And if your spirit does not align correctly, that may be a toxic situation. So when I say you make that jump when your values don't align, you make decisions based on your values. And if those decisions don't align with your values, then that's when you say no.
Tune into the Artist Exchange every Friday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Every Saturday, 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. live on BeExposedRadio.com.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
No, that's right, Ray. We're back from commercial break. Rachel commented, if I have to share the fun part of my man, then the other woman better come and do his half of laundry, half these dishes,
Amen.
and cook a few nights. I'm open to that. Wait, maybe I should rethink this. Listen, there are levels to this, is what they say.
That's what they say.
You have some people who just go out and it's an intimate thing immediately. You just sex and sex alone. You have some people who do bring in a third party, and the person is in home and meeting children, and it's like, this your Uncle Jim or this your Aunt Jane. Don't act like y'all ain't have an aunt or an uncle that was all, you kind of look like him, but you never ask questions. No, nobody. Okay, I'm just saying.
But my kids have.
You on
Just
the other
kidding.
side of me can have all the experiences. You ain't gonna have that in my home.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna be that steadfast person. There's no wavering for me.
None.
I'll understand what you're going through, because I have friends who have been in open relationships, and they've been the third party of the relationship, and that just doesn't work for me, because at some point, the reason I'll say for a man, from a male's point of view, the reason the wife wasn't enough and they got the third person is the reason they will go get a fourth person. And I've seen that happen. And I know that's not every situation, but you got bored. So
but
you
if
can
it's
get
right,
bored
but
again.
is it just for the sex though? Because if it's for the sex, me personally, I think you bring that third party in, and it wasn't like. But a lot of men, it's like a fantasy.
Yeah, but it's an actual fantasy. Nobody want to sit down and have conversations. Let's bring in the third person so we can talk
so
to
it's
a third
just
person.
a sex thing.
Yeah,
so, but if that third person ain't what they expected, they gonna go get somebody else.
Exactly,
And that's not always a
So
bad
it's
thing.
just
This
a
is what
sex
y'all
thing.
Open to.
But what if that one person don't want it to begin with, and they're only doing it to please that person
And
or
that,
to
well,
make things
then
work?
that's not.
That's
not communication. That's not an agreement.
But you're not gonna tell
There
me
has to be
the
communication.
I think it's a very small percentage of those types of relationships where both parties want it equally, and it's just not happening, because I want it because it's going to please you, and you want it because that's just what you want.
It's not gonna work if only one of you want it.
But
Because
there
then
are
there's
several
jealousy, and then
that
there's
do. But wait a minute, okay,
deceit.
so, because we're going to get into all of the different levels in a bit. Let's get through the questions. The question before we went to commercial break that we asked our viewers is, does money, power, or position, she said she agrees, somebody lying.
Thank you.
That was Lisa.
Is that Lisa?
Yeah.
Thank you, Lisa.
Does
Lisa, my
money,
friend now.
power, or position change the rules of marriage? I've heard you hear comedians say this a lot. They joke about, well, if you have a certain amount of money, you are able to cheat at least once or twice. Literally, I just watched the Carmichael show, and he just reminded me.
I just
Everybody
think
know
that
I love the Carmichael show.
the spouse don't want to lose their status.
Okay, I don't understand. Say that.
Money, power. What'd you say?
Money, power, or position.
Or position.
So you're married to, let's go all the way up. Let's
Ice
say
Cube.
you married to, I ain't even going to say 45. We're going to go to 44. Our former president. It's the president.
Right.
Most powerful man in America. You mean to tell me he not able to dib and dab? And, well, you going to, like, leave him?
Yes.
Right.
Oh my goodness.
Right. They don't.
I don't.
Michelle don't want to lose that status. Like, I'm the president's wife. Like,
you's a sad individual if you'll let somebody do that to you and you stay because of status. That's
but see, you're
but
saying,
there's a lot of people out there.
Let somebody
look at all the
this
reality shows.
I'm saying it wouldn't be let somebody if y'all have an agreement. He's not betraying you.
It is still letting somebody get away with doing that. That's betrayal. That's betrayal because our initial agreement is being broken. That is you and I. Because we didn't make an agreement. Right. We didn't make an agreement that it's going to be you, me, and whomever.
But you never know what's to come in a marriage.
You don't.
Because you love that person right there and then.
Individuals.
Lisa said no. Same rules apply. She on the same page.
Come on, Lisa. Where you at, Lisa? You here downtown?
You need to have a seat
Laura,
in this place,
Laura
Lisa.
also said, she said hello, and she said nope, not at all. She was brought up in a church-going family with traditional values and was taught that God said a marriage is between one man and one woman. I'm also selfish. And here we go again with the selfish.
Yes, and
marriage is marriage.
She's
Lisa
generational X.
No, she is?
Yes.
So she here for the
She older than me.
But here's the thing though. Here's my question.
She almost in the baby boomers.
So everybody is saying no. Let me be clear with my what I just say, my analogy. Was that analogy? Metaphor? No, analogy. About the president. I'm not saying he cheated. I'm saying y'all married and y'all have a like, babe, I'm going to be in Tokyo on Thursday. I'm gonna be in Afghanistan on Friday. I'm gonna be in Mexico on Saturday. I won't be back for the next 6 months because I'm out doing whatever I'm doing. I'm gonna be safe for work. I mean, this is the president. He could be doing whatever. I'm saying.
Where my ticket at? It's too more than one seat.
I love you, Laura.
Air Force One.
Okay, Lisa's Generation X too. So X is not all.
It's not. I mean,
X is not all.
I think it really depends on the insecurity level of the person when they make that decision.
That's so unfair, and that's the next thing. I heard that's the next word I heard. The first word was selfish. You got a lot of the millennials saying selfish. Then you got the next group of people saying you got to be insecure to allow. That's unfair.
I'm sorry. That's how I feel.
I'm not insecure about it.
I need somebody in here on my side. This is why I see I had some other guests.
I'm open-minded.
Nicole
down for it.
Can you? Because that's unfair to use the word insecure. Most times, you have to be very secure to
allow.
Right, not just allow, not allow, because allow is indicating there's something that you don't necessarily want, but you are allowing. You're agreeing.
And that's what I said. There's a very
but
small
you have
percentage
some
where both
women
parties want it.
and men who they want it. Okay, Elisa says she think allowing is an insecurity. Exactly.
Lisa? I'm about to give you my phone number.
That's unfair though, because some women and some men actually want to be with other people. Let's use Monique, which I haven't heard somewhere when we get into celebrities. Monique said, don't do it. Don't do it.
See my lips.
Monique said she suggested having an open marriage with Sydney.
You would suggest
I don't believe that. I don't really believe that
either.
Lisa, I'm gonna be honest with you, but I can only go by what she said.
I've only been married once.
That she didn't. Chelsea said, then why get married? I get it. I understand. It's not for everybody. And I'm not here advocating for.
That's in my opinion. What's the point of you getting married?
Chelsea?
That's what you're going to do. Like, what's the point? Won't you just stay single and just date multiple people? Why?
Because you want the relationship. Mika, tonight's topic is open marriage. Would you be not even necessarily would you be open for it, but is it a yes or no? Because some people are not open for it, but they agree with it. They're like, I don't have a problem with it. I think it's cool, but I don't want it.
If you choose it, all for you. If you like it, I love it, but just not for myself. I'm just saying, for me, in my experiences, I've noticed that there is not an equal, I want this. And you learn to do things out of necessity, or you really want this person and you willing to negotiate.
Yeah, but after a while that gets old. Like
negotiating.
It gets negotiating or doing it just because you want to do it. Go ahead, boo. You want to do it? I don't want it done, but no. But
so
there
Lisa
has
said
to
it's
be
not marriage if you do that to her.
Okay.
And I get it. I just think So did we ever get into the whole thing about the celebrities? There's no changing in the rules? Everybody say no. It doesn't change about their position. You don't care who they are, how much money they have.
But there's so many reality shows out there.
If I let your status determine what you do to me, then anything will fly. Like anything, and I got to deal with it because.
What about unspoken? In the same situation, you're in a position, you have money, you good, and you know that your husband is doing these things. Y'all didn't communicate.
But that's just like the silent generation.
Well, the silent generation is silent. They're 71 years old. They ain't doing nothing.
Not now.
Well,
but you don't know the same stuff
because back in the day,
years and years ago.
And that's what I use that today. You should the movie Fences. We talked about that before.
Yes.
And you saw Fences, right?
Yes.
So Viola knew. I'm just using her
he was
character
sleeping with
that he was sleeping.
Viola was a fool.
Oh, I'm still the matter with you.
But she stepped up and took care of that.
Did y'all hear him say Viola Davis was a fool?
She was. It's no. You're not gonna have no child on me. You're not gonna sleep around. I don't care what bills you paying. I'm just gonna have to move back home with my mother and make this work. Like I'm just gonna have to do that. I'm not willing to put myself on the line, my dignity, my integrity on the line to love somebody. Like no.
God will bless you.
But that was their generation. That it was known.
If that lady would have been alive, he would have still. He
would have been because he. To me, based on how he responded, he loved the other lady.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. He cried over my bed. Like, no. If she would have stayed alive, he would have had another child by her.
Possibly.
What, she was going to move her in at that
just
point?
like in that movie. What movie was it? Never mind.
Lisa said accepting doesn't mean it's working. Ray X, if you have an open marriage and a marriage isn't that basically being a swinger. Well, to my knowledge, Ray, because I don't know all the logistics of it, because there's so many different levels to this. Swingers, they do things together, like specifically. They bring in other couples specifically. Open marriage means that it's so many different ways. You can be swingers in an open marriage. Like you can go out as a couple and sleep with another couple, but having an open marriage and not being swingers, that you can go out and do what you do, and I'm okay with it. And then another person, your husband or your wife, can go out and do what they do, and you're okay with it. Y'all have an understanding. It's not necessarily y'all doing it together.
If you have an urge to sleep with someone other than me,
Lisa is not here for it at all.
Thank you, Lisa, because it's foolishness. If you have an urge to sleep with someone other than me, go get them. But take all your stuff with you.
Ice Cube
and she said she has dealt with some of those things, but she wasn't happy. And that's the thing. That's what she was saying about accepting. You know, just because you accept it don't mean it's okay. And I don't encourage, and I don't think that any man or any woman should put themselves in a position that they're unhappy. Mika said, look at Rashida and Kirk Frost. I'm assuming that's a reality show,
that's
I've heard them before.
Atlanta.
I have no idea who they are, so I can't.
Absolutely. That's what I'm saying. You both have to be. Well, he
are they open?
Cheated now.
Oh, okay.
He just cheated. He did. That wasn't an open. That wasn't an open relationship. He cheated.
How you can do that from being exposed? You gotta show me how to do that. All right. Anyway, he cheated. Kirk Frost cheated.
Yes.
So it's not about being open. He just cheated.
That wasn't
she took
open.
Him back or something?
Like, I don't know. The last show showed her giving a prenuptial agreement to make sure she was taken care of because he won her back.
He just kept cheating on Rashida.
But she was aware.
She was aware of it. She kept forgiving him.
Right, but then he got pregnant.
But see, that's not open relationship.
That's not
because
open,
you can't.
No.
You're not supposed to be forgiving anybody if you have an open relationship. Right. That's accepting, like Lisa was saying.
That's just like being married. Your husband cheats, and
she wasn't
he not.
Anything. She wasn't prepared to do anything. My grandmother used to tell my aunts that all the time. If you're not willing to do anything, like what are you complaining for? Shut up. And just keep getting what you getting and let them get what they're getting.
But like if she a praying woman and believe that he can change,
maybe it's not enough.
I'm not.
There is.
I don't. And then listen, I don't believe in that. I did too much of that in my teenage years. I'm not about to get on my knees and pray another time for somebody to change and be looking. No, I'm not about to do that anymore. You need to fix you and come back ready. I can't do that anymore. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought she said. Lisa said, if there are other people in your marriage, I don't believe you are happy for real, for real. Mika said to her, she was open to allow him to do it. That's not open. And I think this is when people look at.
She didn't allow him to do it.
Right, she didn't leave. If she forgave, you can't say forgave and allow in the same sense. It ain't gonna work.
Over and over again.
You can't allow something and then forgive it. Now, you being her girlfriend or something, you're reprimanding her. You can say no. You allowed that unconsciously. You let him do it.
I'm not saying you can't say it, but it's said all the time. Because once all these allegations against Bill Cosby came out, Camille said the same thing. She knew he was sleeping around, but she accepted that as his wife, and she dealt with it as his wife, and she stood by his side. So there are plenty of people who just, I'm just saying, there's plenty of people who continue to let it happen. And
but that wasn't having an open marriage.
It is an open marriage. The moment you know about it happening and you're not going to do anything about it, and you let it keep going, that's an open marriage, baby.
I don't think that, but this is coming from a person who don't know, because you're not in it.
Open marriage is both, and open marriage, and there's been a discussion and it's communication.
A discussion with your mate saying, "I am okay."
You just said unspoken.
You did.
No, I said you can not an open marriage. I said you can allow it.
The marriage is open the moment I find out you're cheating. I don't do anything about it, and I let you continue cheating without,
that's just you a dummy.
Or anything. That marriage isn't open. The door is open.
The marriage he open. He open for business. You ain't.
That's acceptance.
Yeah. You just not.
That's acceptance, right? That is acceptance, not being open.
At that point. You're just voyeurism at that point, because
it could be
you're watching. You might as well just get the camera and record it.
Hey, you don't know. Some people, and a lot of the accepting, yes, is about insecurity, and some of it is because they don't want to admit that some of those things they actually enjoy. Some women, I have heard myself, women say, his appetite is too big for me. I would prefer him go out there and get it somewhere else, so he don't have to keep giving.
You, why are you still there?
No, she want to be with him. She want to be with him. She enjoys sleeping with him. And their marriage is fine. He just has a huge appetite, and she would prefer him get it elsewhere than to keep worrying her.
You should just be dating him.
Why?
Because it's not a real relationship.
Why isn't it?
What's going to happen when that next person does more for him, takes more than you're willing to take?
Well,
he's gone.
But this is what I'm saying. I don't disagree with that, and that comes with you not telling having a communication with your husband that this is where I stand, this is what I expect. It's sex and sex alone. That's called having a dialogue. You're going to have an open marriage.
Somebody what you expect all day long. That's not going to change anything. They're still going to.
That's not going to change anything for you. But there are many successful open marriages that will go against that.
All power to them. I respect them, but somebody lying in that relationship.
Okay.
Somebody lying.
Listen, as y'all can see, this is a hot button topic, and we just getting started. I know good and daggone well I am not the only person that is at least open to having a discussion with their husband or wife about open marriage. I need some help in here because I'm getting beat up, but I'm going to stand my ground.
Talk about it.
We'll be. Stay tuned, y'all. We'll be right back. Question on the floor: what about other cultures that allow and encourage more than one wife? Is that still
yes? But there's also cultures.
When we come back, that's the question on the floor. Be right back. Y'all stay tuned.
Hey everybody, check out what you missed on the one and only Be Inspired radio show.
I'm just thankful this year I've dealt with, some growing pains, and I've overcome some things, and I've also, accomplished some things in the process. I've learned some things. I learned that everybody loves your work until they got to pay for it. That's what I learned. I learned everybody loves what you do.
The pay?
I mean,
not always.
Listen, the Bible says money answereth all things.
Well,
okay, and there is a place. There is a place where finances is necessary. And when you got kids, and when you got a wife, and then you doing everything, and you top dog at what you do, especially when you weren't in the same place like with this radio show. You ain't in the same place you were a year ago. Should nobody be coming on the show and not donating to your show?
Can you say that on my show?
Should nobody come into your show?
Can you say that in the middle of the live?
Yeah, make that a promo, please.
Should nobody come on this show without donating? That is a nice commercial. I don't care if it's $20.
Donate.
Tune in to Be Inspired every Wednesday live at 7 p.m. right here on BeExposedRadio.com.
Check out this flashback of the Artist Exchange Radio Show on BeExposedRadio.com.
Welcome back to the Artist Exchange Radio Show here live on BeExposedRadio.com. In the building, we have live Mr. Michael Ryder. There we go. And Mr. Steve Yarn. They're doing a partnership based on what was it again? The stories of the Vulcan Blazers. An awesome production that they have coming up. And now the name of it will be called
Baltimore Heat.
There we go. They were telling us a little bit about, they're in the pre-production phase of developing this Baltimore-based production. It seems like a really awesome idea, and I always love for more artistic events to come here, and because it's more of an event because you guys are going to actually use Baltimore as your complete backdrop of the city, and that's very awesome to hear.
Yeah, we want people to fall in love with this project through the visions and the tales we're going to tell about these firefighters, but also we want them to fall in love with the city of Baltimore. Just like they did with Miami Vice and Chicago Fire and NYPD Blue and
Sex in the City.
Sex in the City and all these other places that have the city as a star as much as the artists and the actors are.
And that's Baltimore has for many years have been the backdrops of many movies. I could think of a few Whoopi Goldberg movies, Sleepless in Seattle. A lot of these movies that have always used Baltimore as a scene. Not to mention The Wire and Homicide and countless other movies, House of Cards. All these movies and television shows have always used it, but it was never really about Baltimore. They always included Baltimore in the story or the backdrops or certain historical scenery,
things they absolutely needed to say.
But it never House of Cards actually shoots in Baltimore. But they're saying that it's Washington D.C. So they're shooting here and not even giving us credit for the place we're here.
The Artist Exchange Radio Show every Friday 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. every Saturday 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Real artist, real talk, real live on BeExposedRadio.com.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
We're back. We're back. So I was told that I was going to have to be out here on this limb by myself, but that's cool because I can take it.
I'm on it.
No, I'm here. I'm here.
Nicole's there.
Thank you, Nicole. Now, Warren, I got somebody on my side. The question on the floor before we left was, what about other cultures that allow more than one wife? Question: do y'all see a video?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's something with my phone then, obviously, because I don't see a video. What about other cultures that allow more than one wife? Then what? Is that still an absolute no-no?
Hey, whatever works for you. Not one thing works for everybody.
Okay. But then that's still an open marriage, though.
Right. Hey, I'm
and that's okay. Marriage. So because they're not here, when it's our culture, then it's now back to.
I don't think it's about your culture. Most of those other places is built into their religion that is okay. So that's a practice that they have. It's not just a urge that they have.
Polygamy. I mean, what is that guy that lives in Oklahoma somewhere and got like 5 wives? What's that?
Mormons.
Sister wives?
Yeah, he's not a Mormon, but that's like a Mormon.
Right,
but I'm saying, but those are still basically open marriages.
It is. I don't agree with them either, but that's not my religion.
But they live in the same house and take care of all each other's kids.
So it's
years and years ago, that was the way that it was. It was the standard, like
to have more than one wife if your money was right.
Right.
Yeah, don't skip that part because we got people that can't afford a hotel room. I'm just saying.
What's that one guy? He got like 25 kids and he supports every single last one of them. The wives
Lisa said they can have it. But when did it become a thing? When did the one wife? Where did that come from? When it was
it's not
Western.
Adam and Eve.
It's not even in African cultures. Like if I was over there, I would be the one person that's like, this not working for me.
African cultures believe in more than one marriage or one wife.
Leslie,
not all of them.
Your husband is African.
African,
isn't he?
yes, he is.
Oh wow.
So
you number one.
Huh?
You number one?
I'm the only one.
Okay.
Whoop! I know that's right. She fixed that. She fixed that. So, okay.
But the generations before him, there's multiple. He's got aunts and uncles he ain't never met before.
So, okay, so I get, well, Lasha's not here, so I'm not sure if y'all can
aunts and uncles or family?
Answer this
Aunts
question. Is defiling the marital bed. I really wanted Harry Wallace is supposed to be here, or Lisha, to answer that. Defiling the marital bed. If there's any ministers that are still tuned in, can y'all give me the answer to that?
What is it?
When the scriptures talk about defiling the marital bed, if you're married and you're in agreement, is this still considered defiling or no?
Under the Christian faith, that is still considered
Yes.
defiling the marriage bed.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you still are going against the principles that God set forth, where it's a one-on-one relationship, opposed to it being open to multiple people coming in and out of the relationship. It's still going against the sanctity of marriage.
And then
You
one.
sure?
Yes.
And then that one leaves, and then one.
I need
you
some time.
cutting that word a little.
I'm not cutting at
You're
all.
cutting the
want
word at the wrong
clarification.
angle, because you stopped at agreement.
Right.
Because if there's an agreement between the husband and the wife,
Okay.
you're still defiling the marriage bed. You can collectively together defile it,
Okay,
or you
now.
can do it as an individual.
All right.
At the end of the day.
But you
Nobody
cutting
help
that
you
word
get
a
to them
little.
golden gates.
I didn't cut it at
little,
all. I'm asking because I want to know if that is something that happens. I've been told that once you're married, when you
marriage
have
bed
the
cannot be
sanctity of your
defiled.
marital bed, you cannot defile your marital bed.
Between you and that
your-
person. Between you and that person.
So you can
When
bring
add
in
a-
all
If
kind
you
of
do
toys
defile,
and
even
all
if you
kind of
do-
stuff, but
There's
you bring another
inanimate
person,
object.
and
There-
that's
Well,
the,
wait a minute.
Those
wait a minute.
inanimate objects, they're not another living, breathing thing.
Let me get this
I was
straight.
told,
Uh-huh.
wait a minute, when you're married and you want to do that, it is whatever you say it is. What is it?
Defiling.
Defiling.
Mm-hmm.
It is, because you're bringing an innocent bystander into your
You're making them an adulteress.
sin. Yes.
Warren said
into
not
your
to
sin.
mention adultery.
Absolutely.
So your union does not purify whatever.
No. Your union is between you and your husband.
Mm-hmm. So I just want to be clear, and we're gonna move because we can be. I'm gonna sit here and do this all day till I get the answer that I want. But I'm just saying.
No, it does not
but
defile the
listen,
marriage when the
so
husband
you're
and wife do
saying
it.
we can bring in whatever toy, whatever movies, whatever inanimate objects, even if they look like real people but it's inanimate, that's okay. But if you bring in a real person,
that's where
you bring in an innocent
that's
bystander
when it becomes,
into
that's where you broke
that sin.
I don't know.
I'm telling you.
But just because you said it, don't make it true.
Okay.
Okay. Listen.
Read your Bible.
You're right. So when we just got back, I know, but we have to take this commercial break. It'll be a short one. When we come back, we're going to get into things people that are in an open marriage want you to know. Stay tuned. Share this, please, y'all. We need to keep the conversation going. I want other people to hear this, what we got to say. Then if you have something to say, call us in 410-702-5657, and we're still reading your comments throughout the commercial break. We'll be right back.
Hey everybody, check out what you missed on the one and only Be Inspired radio show.
Now here's one little speech I'm going to give you before I get into the next article. Here's what I want to tell you. Still, but fear is big business. Fear is big business. I'm not telling you not to be alarmed by what you're seeing. I'm not telling you not to be concerned. What I'm saying is not to buy into the notion that we should be afraid. You should be informed. You should be aware. You should start educating yourself about some things. I don't have the solutions. I don't have the answer. I wish I could say that if you did X, Y, and Z, you might not get shot by the police. I wish I could tell you that, but I can't. But what I can say is just start making yourself aware of what's going on, but don't be so consumed by what you're seeing that you become afraid, that you don't want to go out. Or you become numb. That's a good point, Nate. Nate said, or you become numb to it, like you just don't care. So we need you to just continue to be in touch with what's going on, but educate your family, talk to your sons, talk to your daughters, because it's not just limited to men. We know from Sandra Bland, she was a young woman who was killed. And we don't want to say, we don't know all the details behind what happened. No. The fact is that person's life still matters. They still have rights. They should not just be killed dead before they even get a trial. Okay, that's the point. They deserve a trial at least, but they can't even make it to the jail cell to get a trial to be tried. They're being killed even before arrest. Terrible. So that's my soapbox.
Tune in to Be Inspired every Wednesday live at 7 p.m. right here on BeExposedRadio.com.
Yeah, this the man that holds it down, Mr. Showtime, D the Boss. Check us out every Saturday, 5 to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, only on BeExposedRadio.com.
I'm in a relationship. Mm-hmm. My girl happens to be long distance. Mm-hmm. So with that being said,
I beat my thing like it owes me money. Sorry.
Because I asked that because so many people are not comfortable.
Here's my thing. It's mine.
That's right.
And you need to know yourself before you can have somebody please. If you can't tell nobody how to please you, if you don't know how to please yourself.
That's right.
You know what you like. You know what you like. You know the stroke. All that. Mm-hmm. So you're right. And I mean, you shouldn't be ashamed of it. It's your body. Yeah, I'm over here struggling with the ear.
Yeah, I'm glad it's you today. I'm glad it's you today, brother.
This thing going to drop. It's going to drop about at least like 5 times.
I'm over there struggling.
So E-D, do you have a problem with masturbating?
No, I don't. I don't masturbate often because I have a fear of going blind. So, yes. When I found
you could go blind from
I read about it. Is that true? No, it's not true.
It's not.
Okay.
Because I was gonna say I should have been blind a long time ago.
Let me drop some knowledge on you real quick.
I was just playing.
But
Hey, what's up, good people? It's the man you all know and love, E Digger. Make sure you check us out every Saturday from 5 to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Only on BeExposedRadio.com.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Y'all, so before the commercial break, we were going on and on about the cultural part and if that was considered an open marriage or not. But Rod Dreher, I can't pronounce his last name, I always say it wrong, said that this kind of thing means the dissolution of family and eventually society. I think that's a stretch. How can the open marriage, huh?
I said I can't talk anymore.
Why? You think that you agree with that?
I'll tell you at the break. Go ahead.
Oh my God. Okay. The General Social Survey. I didn't know that this exists, but this is obviously what they do to get a gist of where we are as a people, whoever checks in. And they did a survey, and they posed a question in 1970. It constantly asks over and over again to make sure that they got accurate reading. What is your opinion about a person having sexual relations with someone other than their marriage partner? Is it always wrong? Almost always wrong? Wrong sometimes, or not wrong at all? In 1973, 70% of the people said always wrong. What do you think it said in 2016?
Whole bag.
Whole bag.
Probably 50. Whole bag. Like whole.
So you think less people said always wrong? Or?
Mm-hmm. They probably said the majority said it was okay, if not at least half.
So from 70%, you think it went down to 50%?
Absolutely,
about half.
At least.
So
if not more.
In 2016, 76% of the people said still always wrong. So more people in 2016 said it was always wrong for their marital partner to go outside of the marriage. In 1973, 70%. So more
they're
people.
Lying. Don't nobody want to be honest.
Yeah, that's
because
what I think
you have to be, like we had this conversation. I think you have to be secure in your marriage to be okay with it.
Yeah,
like it's not like you sleep, breathe, and eat sex with other people.
But when you're opening up the relationship to
Right,
that stuff,
but
you are. Because the moment you let somebody do that, the moment you say, okay, we can do this, or you are allowed to do this, then you're opening.
Yep, Laura.
Right, but it really it's not like that.
Okay, so let's get into what the things that people are in open marriage want you to know. First of all, an open marriage can mean many things, arrangement-wise, one-night stands, or even ongoing relationships. It is not necessarily opening up the marriage doors to a one-night stand and that be that. Some people are still in a committed relationship with another person while being married.
Say that again?
There's some people are still
into that one.
A committed relationship.
See, that's the part. See, I heard that word. That's not a committed relationship.
Well, how is it not?
It's not committed.
So only commitment can only be two? An extra commitment is more. It's not just two. It's two or more.
I commit to go to work
When you made that commitment, did you make a commitment to that person or to those people?
Those people, and if they're okay with that, then cool.
That initial commitment was to that person.
I make sure I wash your underwear every week.
Lasha just her time is different from ours. Jess. So she just inboxed me from earlier today. She don't even realize that we're on air right now. Oh. I'm sorry. It's like 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock where she is. I do believe that you can be in a committed relationship as long as the person is open. So basically, it's just all three of you are in a committed relationship.
That don't mean you have to, like, I don't know how to explain it, but it's not like you, like I said before, eat, breathe, sleep, sex with other people. Mm-hmm. Like, you can have a one-on-one relationship and have sex on the norm and not sleep with other people for months.
Explain. You may have you and your husband.
Like, me and my husband are married.
Right.
If he chose, like, we had a we had a dialogue.
Mm-hmm. Be careful. Be careful.
I'm trying.
Okay.
I'm trying. So if we had a dialogue and he says, I want to sleep with so-and-so, and it's me saying, cool, go ahead. But that may not happen every day.
But does that make you insecure?
No.
Or does that make you very secure in your relationship?
Secure. You have to be secure in your relationship.
So you say
to
that's
be
not
able to
an
say,
everyday
cool, go ahead. I mean, I
so
want to do
sometimes
it.
you will say no.
Huh?
Sometimes you will say no. You can't do that.
Yes, because first of all,
but you allowed it all the time.
Right, but you have to know that other individual.
Okay.
Like, so they may come over, eat dinner, whatever, and that lets me get their spirit, if their spirit funny. Like, I can tell.
You get some meals for them? Oh,
okay, Rachel said that's too much. Working and maintaining a relationship.
A marriage is too much.
It's hard enough, but having to maintain two is too much. That's too stressful. Warren said commitment is scary. Is a scary feeling. Feelings are now involved with others. What happens on Valentine's Day, for instance? Valentine's Day belongs to your wife.
Yes.
That's it. Like, that's not hard. That's not, and the person who is on the side, if y'all have communication, already know their lane. They should know their lane already.
They should know their lane. Like I was trying to say that you have to know that person. Like, if I know you crazy,
why I gotta know that person?
No, I'm just saying.
I don't need to know that.
I need to know because I need to know what he getting into.
So you need to meet the other person. So that is a ground rule in your open marriage. You need to meet the person.
Yes.
So that you can yes or no.
Because, and I've been in that situation. Okay. So if I say, they crazy. They run their mouth. You gotta look how they get.
You gonna say it right then and there?
Yes, we have that conversation.
That ain't it. That's what I mean. If I'm gonna, if this is like
she's crazy, she has low self-esteem, depression,
and be like, look, you're not.
Listen, okay. So did anybody watch the Carmichael show?
No.
Okay, you know that's one of my favorite shows. But for their 3-year anniversary, they were out for dinner. And there was a lady who was sitting at the table with them, and they were having a good time. The lady went to go get drinks, and the girl said she thinks, the guy said, I think she wants to have a threesome with us. And they kind of made some jokes about it being their 3-year anniversary, and it was a sign to do the threesome. Point is, he put it out there. The girlfriend first didn't believe, but she agreed, and it wound up being an amazing evening for their 3-year anniversary. Did you watch the Carmichael show?
I don't watch TV.
But what is that?
But they had the Carmichael show. But they had an amazing.
Is that on regular TV?
It's on network TV, and it was hilarious. But I mean, this is what it was. But it actually
you
helped them. Like they were in a good place after they did that until people found out. But
but a lot of guys say they do the threesome and they just want to experience. They don't want it like all the time.
And that's the thing. When that morning, the awkwardness came in because they wanted her to leave. Not between the husband or
you
the two people.
When it's done.
They was like, it's time for you to go. So they didn't want the relationship part. They didn't want to like get to know you and getting to know all about you. No, they want that. They wanted to hit it and quit it and go head on. But that worked for them, and there was no animosity. They was actually like, yeah, you did it. 2 women. Look at you.
And then one of them start giving.
But it's not always like that. It's not always. When's it going to happen again? It's not always like that.
Well, I probably a man.
Threesome?
Me? No.
Would you ever be in a threesome?
I'm open to the discussion.
What discussion?
That's all you're gonna get out of me.
What about open to the action?
I'm open to the discussion. Rachel said, once feelings get involved, it becomes too messy. Feelings will get hurt, and then things.
But if that's another rule you have to have, like.
That's what I'm saying. It has to be specific rules, communication, and dialogue between those who are in the relationship. That's the only way this is. It's not no. You see, your wife or your husband, and there's a look that he or she gets, and you see it, but you don't make mention. No, it needs to be. Hold up. What are you feeling? Are you good? Like it's. No? Okay, then we done. It needs to be that kind of communication.
But men always saying that they can cut the feelings off when it comes to sex.
But you're going too far in it. If you need to know your relationship enough to know if you can do.
Let her do something that this one can't do. And that's goodbye.
Not always. Always.
There's some women who don't.
She become the side chick then, and you don't ever know when they're banging again.
It don't. To me, it don't always work that way. But okay, let's move forward.
It don't always work.
Technology.
Got a lot of trust in these people.
I'm not in a relationship, so I can have fun with my conversation.
11 years.
Technology is making open marriage easier. Finding like-minded people became easier. That's the biggest thing because people who are okay with it, they can't have this type of dialogue because then they get attacked. But now with Facebook groups,
closed Facebook groups,
like things like that, they're more comfortable with
no judgment.
Right? There's no judgment, and it's easier to find. Like using that show I just used, that girl can't really say she would have just went up to anybody. That was a TV show, but that may not have worked out that way in any other situation. So people in open marriages also, they're still judged. This is one of the main reasons that this lifestyle has to be kept under wraps, which is just unfair. Like I feel like you don't have to agree, but you don't have to judge.
Well, there's always going to be judgment. Like people always going to judge. It doesn't matter what it is. So you just gotta have that. I don't give a.
Well, you would have to. You would have to have tough skin if you wanna stay. Sometimes a third party can live with the couple. We talked about that. Some people call this home wrecking, but it can also be called a nice family structure, a better balance.
That's
sweet. You don't.
I don't. That's when the kids get involved.
Well, that's okay. So, so nobody watch Orange Is the New Black?
No.
Nobody watch that. You watch Orange Is the New Black? Did you see the couple?
I watched.
Well, she's in jail now. I'm not quite sure exactly what happened with that, but she was married to the guy, and there was a Muslim family, and they actually talked about this for a minute, and they brought in the new wife to help raise and help with the balance of the household.
Wait a minute, who was locked up? The wife?
The old wife. But you flashback.
Right. So technically, the old wife, the first wife, wifey, whatever you want to say isn't there. So
no, but I mean, they were there together. She was married to her husband, and she actually was like, you need to do this, you know, let's build our family. They had a child, and it was a lot of work for her. And
right, but she's still taking a chance that
She
he ain't
hire
like,
nanny
oh, you in there for a couple
I guess
years.
this is cheap labor. Rachel said her girlfriend hired her open marriage because of their families. Yeah, I'm not sure how that would work with them. Let me tell you something. Me, I'm playing devil's advocate. I will always play devil's advocate for whatever show we have. Maybe not next week because I have my own personal feelings towards certain things. But I'm just not high. I'm not. Whatever I'm doing. Ain't none of your business.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. I'm not asking you to join. I had somebody ask me when I was pregnant. I had my daughter. They said, I didn't even know you was pregnant. Why you ain't tell me you was pregnant? I said, I ain't tell you I was screwing. If I don't call you after I finish screwing, I probably wasn't gonna call you and tell you I was pregnant.
You are mean sometimes.
No, but that's the truth. Like, people, you know, I can't with that. I'm not hiding. If this is a lifestyle that I decide to
I have a select few friends that know my personal business.
I don't have no problem. It is what it is.
You just don't advertise it on Facebook every day. Some people do, but
they say open marriage makes them more sexual. It makes it heightens their sexuality. No,
sure.
That's not a benefit for y'all.
Sometimes it does.
Okay, so they're not here for open marriage. So when we come back for this no, it's not the last commercial break. We're going to talk about the 9 pitfalls. So y'all want to talk about the pitfalls of an open marriage? They want the bad stuff. They don't want the good stuff.
Just to prove their points.
I mean, you haven't given me any good stuff.
That's good stuff. Okay, we got 5 benefits of open marriage too.
Okay.
Y'all stay tuned. We'll be right back.
These lies.
Definitely not taking responsibility for other people's emotions and things that's going on, and owning up to who you are. I know that's what you were finishing on. So you can speak more on that, sister.
Yeah, just making sure, because at the end of the day, what happens to us, especially women, we're nurturers. So by life, you know, we tend to want to, I call men projects, like fix-me-uppers, people that come with issues. And for some reason, I mean, people, we all have issues, but people who, like, want you to help them through their issues, you know? So we take on projects because we get to the point to where we're like, okay, I just want to have somebody, as opposed to the quality of the person that you're getting. And then we start to own all of their issues, and we start to feel bad because things are not progressing the way that we want it to, you know, and that's not fair to us. So we can't own somebody else's stuff. If somebody's not ready when you meet them, that's not your fault. That's theirs. It's their loss. You see what I'm saying?
Hey, what's up? It's the man you all know and love, E. Digger, the host of the Charm City Direct Radio Show. Make sure you catch me and my crew every Saturday from 5 to 7 p.m. only on BeExposedRadio.com.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com, the home of Talk Lately with Monty, every Tuesday at 7 p.m.
Yeah, this the man that holds.
Hey everybody, check out what you missed on the one and only Be Inspired Radio Show.
So how important is it for you to have an organization like that and having a child of your own? How does that influence your ability to do the Impact organization?
It influences a lot. It's a little bit challenging because a lot of times people will say, oh, like, you have to practice what you preach, right? So if I'm telling my daughter and I'm raising her under the impact principles and I'm telling other mothers to do this, I have to do the same thing with my child, which is kind of testy a little bit, but I see a lot of development with her. Her leadership, she's only 4. And when I say she has some awesome leadership qualifications, I mean awesome. It's little things that we can observe with our kids, right?
Right.
For instance, when we take them to the park, she brings out a toy, and other people wants to play with them. But she's only child, by the way. She's not going to say, no, you can't play. Only play with this person. She takes the leader in the upper road and be like, okay, well, let's all take turns. So everybody get in the line. Okay, now you go first. Okay, now you go first. And she makes herself last. And that's what I want to see, you know, that's what I would like to see in all kids. And she's only 4. And when I see those leadership qualifications, of course I have to praise her. Because I'm like, awesome, London, you're being a really good leader. So, you know, it's amazing, and it works. I mean, it really works, my child. And I'm not saying she's a perfect child, because there is no such thing as a perfect child.
But when you instill impact principles into your child, and, you know, especially at a young age, and influence their everyday life. Even her teachers are telling me, like, I can see the work that you're doing with her for a single mom. Thank you. Like, they're just thanking me.
Yeah.
And that's a blessing as well.
And I think really what it is that our youth just needs that kind of guidance. That's it. Once they have an example, someone that they can follow, or someone that they see doing something great, or maybe doing something similar, you know, that right there is a catalyst for their success.
Yep, absolutely. And, you know, it also goes with the mom as well. You know, the mom and the dad.
Tune in to Be Inspired every Wednesday live at 7 p.m. right here on BeExposedRadio.com.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
We are back. We're back. Before the commercial break, we were talking about the 5 benefits of open marriage, and I was being, you know, attacked. But the benefits y'all may not agree with, but doesn't make them wrong. This is coming from people that are in.
I don't see you doing an open marriage.
I didn't say I would. I said I was open for the discussion.
She's open for conversation.
I'm open for conversation.
Right. Actions speak louder than words.
I'm not. It's no use to talking. That's
why you think I can't have an open marriage?
I didn't say you couldn't. I don't.
Because I wanted to pour the juice.
I'm just saying.
Because I'm controlling. Is what you saying?
No, I mean, big one. I don't see you wanting an open marriage.
I don't think I'm not saying I would want it. I'm not like what I want. I want honesty.
I never thought I'd be married. Period.
The first benefit, y'all may not agree, but this is from people who are in an open marriage, is jealousy. Couples in an open marriage have to deal with. Couples in an open marriage have to deal with less jealousy from their partner. There is no reason to hide things from each other. No phone snooping, no erratic behavior.
Absolutely.
That's a lie.
You don't agree with that?
I don't snoop.
No.
I don't snoop.
You have an open marriage. What do you have to be jealous for? I mean, what do I have to look for? You're going to tell me.
Because open marriage doesn't mean that you're not out there doing whatever. And if prior to us opening up this marriage, I had issues with you, me opening up this marriage, I'm going to really have issues with you. Because now I'm going to be looking for that other person's phone number in your phone. Like, are you talking to this person without me?
But see, this because you're not here for an open marriage. So that's the reason why. But somebody who's who's been in it, this is coming from people who were in it. And they're saying they're not jealous because they have that communication and dialogue with their husband.
I don't check his phone.
I don't know. I've never really been a checker phoner person. I always tend to
when we first
fall into stuff that I don't need to see. I always have. That's why the reason why I told you in the last show that I told my son's father to leave me blind. Because if you can get it over my head, like if you're that good, I mean, you deserve it.
Well, you're not that good if you're not checking his phone. So
I'm not checking phones.
Get past you.
I ain't gotta check his phone.
If I feel like I gotta check your phone, it's over.
Another benefit, trust. Couples in an open marriage trust each other more. Along with communication, they remove barriers to trustworthiness by easing strict lines of sexual faithfulness. You're not checking phones. You're not asking questions because y'all already talked. There's no the barriers of you should not be doing this, and that's what you're checking for is gone.
I'm gonna say my issue with having an open marriage has nothing to do with trust. Because if trust is a factor, I'm not with you. I don't want it. Mm-hmm. But me, I should be enough. And if I'm not, hey, I accept that. Bye. Have a nice life.
This one I was a little confused about. Abuse. In terms of control or restriction, it's not something couples who are in an open marriage have to deal with. I guess the territorial part of it, of abuse.
So if he will punch
but
you,
if she finds
you when you
if she finds a number if she finds a number in the phone and gets mad and it's like, what are you doing? Clunk upside the head.
No, what they saying, like they're saying in terms of control. They're saying in terms of control and restriction. Mm-hmm. Meaning you're not controlling that type of abuse. Mental abuse is unnecessary because you don't have those barriers over you.
Right.
I think it still depends on the person. If you're crazy enough to hit somebody, it don't matter whether you.
If you're crazy enough to hit the person you're with, you're probably not in an open marriage because you're not here for that person dealing with anybody else.
But that's not always the issue because you can still have an abusive person that's open-minded. Being open to an open marriage doesn't make you less likely to punch somebody in their face.
I mean, if you think about it, I think it does. It's less abusive.
I can't see a person that's controlling being in an open marriage. I can't see them allowing anybody or being okay
like
with
anybody else cheat.
No, I'm not saying cheat. I'm saying open. Right? They might cheat, but they don't want you. They want to control you. So I can't see somebody that's
just a controlling marriage. If the husband can have an open side, but the woman can't, that's not open. That
goes back to what y'all was saying earlier, releasing them, like accepting, like Nicole was saying. Like, girl, leave that phone down. Leave it down.
I am.
Okay. Social support networks, we talked about that. Those who expect, now this is what we didn't get in. Those who expect to rely on one person 24/7 is deluding themselves. Having additional support, like you would in having an open marriage, fixes this problem.
See, and I think the same way you say insecurity is disrespectful, I think that's disrespectful. Okay. Because I am not any more dependent upon you or less dependent upon you because we have an open marriage or we're together. Like, if I'm dependent on you, that's a problem to start with, even if it's just you and I. That's a problem.
But when they say relying on, like using what I just said about
stay-at-home mom?
Orange is the New Black, right? She was a stay-at-home mom,
so
she needed
no choice
help
but to depend
with
on him.
school, cleaning the house, food. I mean, it's not that one person can't do it, but what they're saying is relying on one person to do this 24/7 is a bit unreasonable. And
it sounds like
having an open marriage.
This sound like you can't afford a maid. So you want to?
Everybody can't afford a maid, Nate.
So you would negotiate bringing in a third party in your relationship?
If somebody is willing to come in and help pay these bills and make sure the kids are good and making sure the husband good when I don't feel like it, hey.
I'm just saying, they might get a whole room.
That time of the month and you're irritable. What happens to that?
Oh, that time of the month ain't happened for me in 9 years.
Because usually your cycles link up, so that ain't helping the situation.
So but usually, when women are around each other, 24/7 like that,
worse.
The hormones bounce.
They bounce,
and then they regulate itself when women around you.
Okay. Failure. Listen, this is the question. Failure. The divorce rate in monogamy is higher. If a relationship doesn't work in an open marriage, that doesn't mean your marriage didn't work. You can cut ties and still be married. So they have less divorces in people who are in an open marriage.
If he want to leave, he
Lisa, what you saying no to? Which one of the?
Probably what I just said
about the woman
people
being in your house helping out,
pay bills, and help me make sure everything done. Hey.
I mean, divorce is divorce. It's just crazy to me. And I don't judge people who choose to have open relationships. I just see it as it's a reason one of those parties are doing it, and it's a reason why the other party is doing it. And it's normally I'm not satisfied with what I have here, or there's something I'm lacking that I feel like if I do this for you, then it's going to fill this void that's between us. Okay. And that's just how I personally feel.
Okay.
Christina said it's
cheaper to keep her. Cheaper. Yeah, everybody say that.
Cheaper to keep her. But that goes for both sides, not just a woman. Like it's
right,
not
cheaper to keep him too. We got bills.
Cheaper to keep him too because we still got bills at the end of the day.
Well, we got bills too because we have to go to commercial break. But listen, listen. When we come back, we're going to get into the 9 pitfalls. There are some negatives.
See how she said that? Like it's a problem.
There are some negatives of having an open marriage. This is the next break. When we come back, it's a longer segment, so y'all don't have to go run and grab you something to snack on. When we come back, we're gonna be here for a minute. Stay tuned. Lisa, I just got your message. We're still reading. We're still talking. Send us your messages. We'll be right back. People again.
Hey everybody, check out what you missed on the one and only Be Inspired radio show. Our topic tonight is Spirit of Thanksgiving. And I have in the studio with me my husband, Titus James. Woo!
Titus!
Hello.
Titus James. Titus!
We up here.
This man
we like off the chain because we not, it's right before. Like I say, it's right before a holiday. Nobody
when you at work,
stressing.
Everybody's thinking about that plate they're going to get and their take-home plate.
Right now, people are mapping out their the logistics of like the houses that you go to, because there are some houses that you go to for breakfast in the morning.
Right.
That's just me.
Right.
And then there are houses that you go to early. Like Brandy Mom, she likes to get you in there early, so that's like 3 o'clock.
That's early.
Yeah, that's early.
For some people,
that's
Nah, her aunt and uncle, they have Thanksgiving at 12 noon.
So they're getting brunch.
Yes.
It's full dinner. It ain't brunch. It's macaroni and cheese.
Yes.
Do they go out after?
12 noon.
Do they go out after?
Sometimes, nope.
Oh, they want you to leave?
No, they sit there, they eat, they like
talk.
Play games, talk. That's it.
Well, I guess it's better than having it at night, because then it's late. And,
I mean, you be sleepy all day. I mean, because you sitting there, you eating all day.
And then the game come on.
In Virginia, they start early in the morning with waffles and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But the waffles don't start all the way straight through dinner. They still making waffles. Frying fish all day long.
Laugh that loud.
But then there's everything else in there too, turkey and all that the regular stuff. But they frying fish and making waffles all day long.
They never stop.
It's like fish, waffles, it's fried potatoes, all kinds of stuff.
What
all
happened
day
to the
long.
rest of the Thanksgiving food?
That's what I'm saying. No, all of that is
That's there.
But the special part about it is that everybody's coming because they want to eat a piece of fish.
Oh, okay.
Or they want a waffle.
Oh, okay.
So you be there all day long. You eat your waffle, your fish, and then you go and sit down somewhere and you play games and stuff. And then you come back later on if you want another waffle. You got the iron's hot.
They just keep it going.
Tune in to Be Inspired every Wednesday live at 7 p.m. right here on BeExposedRadio.com.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
We're back. Warren just said, when you choose to move another in to share the load, a lot is owed in return, up to including a ceremonial commitment. In my opinion, absolutely not. We're not doing another wedding.
That's too much.
Your space is invaded at that point.
We're not doing another wedding.
Bond?
Why not?
Rachel said, if people these days actually took marriage more seriously, they may not be a need for an open marriage. These days, some people rush into marriage not even knowing the other person. Then they get to know them, and they stuck with each
They're
other.
supposed
so
to
they
court
may
first.
Well, I mean, I don't think it's always
do
about
it right. Let's do it all the way right.
Oh.
Let's not be.
Let's
just not.
I don't think it's about being
what
stuck.
you want to do.
I think it's a bit unfair how y'all is just ganging up on the open marriage people. The open marriage people just have a relationship with that person. I'm going to defend it only because there's nobody else here in their corner. All I'm actually saying that I would do is have a conversation. They talked to their spouse, and they said, and the spouse agreed, that they would like to go outside of the perimeters of the norm.
And why did that spouse agree? You know, sometimes you gotta get to the bottom of that, and I'm not.
But you're saying agree? They might have wanted to do it. Okay, let me before we get into the 9 pitfalls.
That's what I said. It's very few. In my case, it's more that did not necessarily want to do it, but did it for the other partner.
I'm not disagreeing that there's people who just.
I think it's more on that side though,
going with the flow than what it is actually wanting. But let me put this on the table before you go any further. Christina said options are for single people. I don't think that's fair though, Christina.
No.
I don't think that's fair.
I don't
but
think
listen,
it's fair either.
I'm putting this on the table. There was a guy that I knew some time ago. He got married. He married somebody that he known for many, many years. He knew of their lifestyle prior to them two being married. It was a man and a woman. She had been known to be with a female or two prior to them being married. Okay. Now listen, they were married. They loved each other because they've known each other for years. They were friends, and eventually, he started cheating, and she started cheating.
Started? I mean, that something like that don't just.
Are you in my life?
I'm
just joking.
You better be careful. He started cheating, and she started cheating, and eventually their marriage. They wind up getting a divorce. But now he's cheating with the female. She's cheating with the female. My question is, if there would have been some sort of dialogue between them two, you don't think that this marriage could have been salvaged if they both were interested in a female?
No. Because they started off lying to each other. You know, he knew going into what type of person she was, and it wasn't going to change because they said, let's get married.
Right.
Exactly.
Okay. Right.
It wasn't going to change. If you was a cheater before that relationship,
for everybody,
chances are you're going to be a cheater in that relationship. And in my experience with these open relationships, these triads and so forth, it started with one partner saying, okay, we can do this. And you bringing one person in and you starting a life with that person and it's going well. But that urge that person has had throughout that first relationship is why they got the third person. It's why the fourth person is going to now be on the table. So now you're cheating on both of them with somebody else because they're not willing.
But they wouldn't be cheating if they had communication.
It is
That's all
cheating.
I'm saying.
It is cheating because you're going beyond what the agreement was. So we weren't enough. So the moment that second person said, you know, not tonight, I don't feel like it. They like, well, you were brought in because she said that. So now I got to bring in a fourth person because now you feel in some kind of way.
Christina said communication is everything. I agree. Communication is everything. I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying.
It depends on what you're communicating about because I ain't here for it.
Adultery, whether there is knowledge or not, still cheating.
People kill me.
Lisa, y'all are so by the book. I'm gonna be like, yo,
but it's not by the book.
It's not
people
by the
kill
book.
me that they only pick and choose what they want to know by the book.
Yeah.
But
what other stuff are you doing out there that you're not doing by the book?
But that's an individual thing then, not necessarily a commitment between the two.
And it's not like I try my hardest not to be like a Bible thumper against people because I am a Christian. But it's just certain things that I'm not willing to do. I'm not going to cheat on you. I don't want to be in an open relationship, so I'm not going to accept one in return. It's just certain things that I'm not going to do, and that's just one of them. I'm not willing to share who I am with someone else.
Okay.
And that's no difference than you lying to both of us and not telling the other one about the other person. To me, that's the same thing. Like, we just both fools now because we both know each other.
Okay. So, the 9 pitfalls, since we're on this.
I need you to have the same enthusiasm you had.
Not with that.
Lisa said her marriage is not up for options. Oh, yes. She take her vows seriously. I get it.
I take mine seriously, too.
I'm here for my husband. So, I mean,
not taking them seriously.
Let me be clear. This would never be something that I would put on the table. This would never be something that I would say, this is what I want. Warren said, good point.
Laura,
Nate.
Who said that?
Warren.
Thank you, Warren. Where you at, Warren? We need your support in the room because clearly.
He said, what if the outside one come to the house walking funny? I'm done with you. I don't want to stay with you. I'm finished. Let's get to the 9 pitfalls. All right, Warren, the first pitfall of an open marriage. One spouse is on the fence. Warren, is that why they walking funny? Because they was on the fence?
It fell.
One spouse is on the fence with an open marriage, just swinging their feet, waiting for the wife to drop the ball.
Or it could be I'm not husband or wife or husband or whatever your circumstance is. It's just the other person, for me, that's just not sure about it. And just like, okay, if this is going to make this person happy, let me just see.
But some women do that.
What?
Because they do want to make their husband happy.
I agree. I
mean, it's not saying it's yay or nay, but if you willing to do, you got to do what you got to do to keep your man happy.
Well,
right?
I don't want to say become all things. That's a churchy thing, but I'm going. Yeah,
right.
No.
But you
want to do what I got to do
come from
for my boo.
How do we figure out adultery? Was it in the Bible?
Well,
or was it in the laws?
Adultery?
Yeah,
it was a commandment. It's throughout the Bible.
Right.
It's a standing. What?
If he asks you to put a strap on,
I'm done.
Now you done.
No.
But you better go
I'm
find
done
somebody.
with this conversation. I'm done with this conversation. I'm going to do what I got to do
to break vows
for my boo. How many times did I say that?
Absolutely.
The second downfall, the green-eyed monster. We talked about that, but this is the flip side of jealousy. Christina, is you flatlining because of me? Because I'm going to do what I got to do. That's my boo. That's my job. That's my job, to do what I got to do. Just make sure if he do get a strap on, it fit. Because, okay.
No. He's not wearing one. You are.
I'm talking about it fit around my waist.
Oh, wow.
Over.
The green-eyed monster, jealousy, will rear its ugly head.
But
eventually.
That's when both parties have to be okay with it, and it has to be a dialogue, a verbal conversation, not you should already
How often
know.
are we having this conversation? Because I'm
no, it's only one conversation. Like. You either with it or you not, and hopefully that.
But even then,
okay.
though, there are because we're human beings. Jealousy will rear its head. You have to decide whether or not you want to check you. There's a lot of times, even if you don't say it, that you'll say, "Let me get myself together. This ain't even me." I mean, that's just, you can't help that. So this is when you are assuming some things.
Right,
it will be totally different.
But
if it's in your face.
But if you had if you had good communication,
doesn't matter about communication. You're a human being. So if you are in the bed. You're in the bed and y'all doing whatever you're doing, and he moan louder with her than he do with you. Even if you don't say anything, you might step your game up. You just going to do a little bit extra because now you want to be par at least. You can make that up and say that to yourself. I'm not saying that everybody will. All I'm saying is,
and I'll preface this even more for myself. It's not even a jealousy thing for me because you can't be me. All I'm saying is I don't want to share. I know you garbage. I know you could never be me. But you can have them if that's what it takes. I don't. I just, no.
But you agree with the green-eyed monster eventually coming in?
With an insecure person? And that's that
even with,
person.
So you're telling me a person that's completely secure with themselves can't have a moment of jealousy?
No, because if you were that secure to go into something like that, I think, like, okay, it doesn't dawn. I don't get jealous over what somebody else looks like. That's just not me. So I don't think jealousy would happen like that. For me, I can only speak for myself. But if you are coming from an insecure place, it will play a part. It will. If somebody giving somebody else a little bit more attention, that's why I don't agree with this, because that will happen eventually. So what then happens?
Maybe it's just me, because I could care less how much attention I get, because
I want attention. Now
I'm good with me. I want attention, but I'm good with me. Like,
I will say for me, I need to know that I'm number one. I need to feel that I'm number one. I need you to say that I'm number one. Well, they used to make me so mad when women would say, I don't need all that. I know who I am. No, but I need affirmation all the time. And I'm going to do the same. But I'm saying that, and that's not something that I used to say, but that's something I need to make clear.
You need affirmation all the time?
When I say all the time, I don't mean like every day you see me, hey, just want to let you know I love you. Like, I don't have to have that.
Give her some affirmation.
From my husband, I want him to give what I give. It don't have to be like every day at 6 o'clock. I'm just saying, yes, daily. On a regular basis, I want to hear it. I want to know where I stand with you.
Okay, so Lisa said, why are these people choosing to get married then?
Why? Because at the end of the day, they want the relationship still.
I love my husband.
Right.
I loved him when I got married. I knew who he was when we got married. I knew how he was when he got married.
So why did you marry him?
Because I loved him.
Okay, that was it?
And God said it was okay.
Okay. That was it? God said
you asked God before you got married?
Absolutely.
Y'all had to come in. Did you give him a chance to respond?
Yes.
Okay. Not my place. So,
that's why I turned around.
once you tell, I'm out on that. I lose every time.
Eden said communication is very important.
Okay. It is. That's the main. It's no way possible you can have.
But if you're
Eden, is this about an open marriage or just in general?
You have to be communicating your truth, your honest truth, because you can communicate a lie. Like, yeah, that's cool, we can do this.
But there has to be honesty.
Yeah.
Okay, and it has to be rules if you're going to allow it.
It's got to be trust and honesty.
Because there's some people that's like, I'm okay with the open marriage, but I don't want to take part. I don't want to see it. I don't want you to bring it home. I don't want to hear about
you
it.
said you're willing to do anything.
No.
She said she was willing for the conversation.
I didn't say me. I said when we talk about communication.
She said she'll do anything.
I will. I didn't say I will. I will. I said I am open to the conversation.
But you did say you do what you got to do to keep your man.
I'll do what I got to do. Yeah.
To keep your man.
Open marriage.
Not to keep my man. For my man. Two different things.
Thank you.
Now, I will say that I'm not saying I would do whatever to keep him.
Temptation. We were talking about that movie Temptation.
Which one?
The movie
y'all seeing these things? I don't
the movie the couple agreed to let the wife sleep with $1 million. The millionaire for money.
Right.
Temptation?
Yeah,
wasn't that Temptation?
Yeah. He allowed his wife.
No, you talking about with Woody Allen? Wasn't
it was two different.
Demi Moore or somebody.
That was
when they said I'll give you a.
Yeah, it was two different. That was the newer one, but it was an older one.
Indecent Proposal.
That was
Temptation
the one,
is with the Tyler Perry movie when she cheated on her husband.
Perry. Okay.
Yeah, Indecent Proposal. Yes, she just said it. Indecent Proposal. Yeah, listen, baby, get that money. We can talk about it. We can pay for therapy later.
You getting these?
Sorry, yes, get that check.
I'm my head down. I'm not here for this.
All right, let's move because we almost done. All right, the stigma of being secondary. I'm sorry. Let's go back. Lopsided beauty. We didn't talk about that.
Absolutely.
One partner gets more attention than the other. That's going to bring up the green-eyed monster hands down. If y'all are you saying who cares, but if y'all are out together and y'all swingers, we're going to use this term for swingers, and your husband is the one that's pulling them, or your wife is the only one that's pulling them, and you just kind of like getting it by,
association.
Right. That's gonna be a problem eventually, I would assume, unless you just be cool with being second best. Lisa is not. She like no. Absolutely not.
Thank you, Lisa, because we need a voice of reason.
Right. Warren said it's definitely going to happen.
Did you get Eden's?
Eden, yeah, I asked what she said. She said, can't keep a person. We're humans, not objects.
No, she.
Absolutely.
Something else.
Absolutely not keeping no human. I mean, I'm no objects.
But you kept comparing the third person to dildos and
no, I was trying to find out because you said about defiling the bed, and I'm saying so all of these other things are okay, but you're saying that's when it's too much, when it's any inanimate object was okay.
Using these objects to please each other,
but that's okay.
Bring a person in,
and I don't think that's fair. Because the person got the same parts that you probably bringing in. You bringing in a fake dildo that's in the shape of,
but that's a fake dildo. It's not a real penis.
So because it's a real person, that's what it wrong. I don't know. I mean, I'm not okay. The stigma of being secondary. Can an additional spouse stay in their lane? That's going to be a constant problem. I think if you don't have clear boundaries, the risk of STDs, of course, is a pitfall in open marriage. Lack of security, for better or worse. But then you have options. When you bring in options, and you don't have the security of knowing that your husband is going to, or your wife is going to stay, because now you've already breached the lines of for better or worse, is what they're saying. And conflicting reasons. Why do you want this? What am I doing wrong? You're going to bump into those holes, like where you're saying you allowing your husband to do the open marriage. So now you're going to think, well, is my sex lackluster? Am I no longer attractive? You're dealing with these insecurities.
I'm on point.
And public scrutiny. These are the 9 pitfalls of an open marriage. And when we come back, we're going to get into some of the power couples who have open marriages. Lisha! She just chimed in. But you would chime in. We're going to go to commercial break. Can you call us when we come back from commercial break? I'm not sure. Let us know if you can call us. Lisa said there's no lanes in open marriage, y'all. Done got off the road. We'll be right back, y'all. Stay tuned. We miss you too.
Check out this snippet from the new season of Talk Lately with Monty about Jennifer Holliday.
Anyway, let's get back to
Yeah. Well, what I wanted to say is that I can understand 100% where Jennifer Holliday is coming from, and that's sort of kind of where my 20% came from. When I basically came out and said who I voted for, I received a lot of backlash. Even on my own talk show, which comes on every Monday from 5 to 7 p.m., I was called a coon. Okay, yeah, shout out for the plug. But yeah, someone actually, you know, they told CJ Bernie that I was a coon, and that really hurt me. I've been called everything from a fat whatever and everything, but someone actually commented on his Facebook
I didn't even say that. That's kind of
called
rough.
me a coon, but it's like I like you. It's crazy because I just feel like someone like Jennifer Holliday. I understand why she stepped down, but I'm kind of upset with her because I think she still should have performed. You know, if you're going to jump out there, then stand in your truth. Don't let no one stop you or change your mind about anything. Listen, no one put a gun to her head and made her sign on for that. But it just seems like, you know, she was basically, she was bullied.
But see, the thing about it is they will put a gun to her head to not do it.
I don't think so.
Well, that's what the threat says. You got to say it's why it's called a threat. You don't know the hypotheticals in there that could happen to you.
Why do you think
she's not a well-known singer, so she's not going around with security. As soon as she goes to get her tracks at the mall,
right?
Pow!
Right, but at the same time,
now we got a whole bunch of dead cats.
Yeah, but like what she said in the footage, you know, today on The View was basically it's not white people who was threatening her. It was us who was threatening her.
Right. Where do you think she live? I think she live in Atlanta.
Exactly.
They gonna get her at the Ku Klux Klan mall and drag her by her hair. You know her hair made a cat. She got the new weave.
I don't have Jennifer Holliday money, honey.
Yeah,
I don't know what this, it might be because it's I don't got Jennifer Holliday money, but me personally, I feel as though, you know, like I said, once I kind of came on, and even being on this show, because I'm pretty sure the headline says Trump supporter, I'm putting a lot of myself out there. You know what I'm saying? So I get it.
Every Tuesday at 7 p.m. only on BeExposedRadio.com.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
We're back, y'all. We're back. We had a couple comments during the commercial break. Warren said, how about making other things of your, I guess, vulnerable things of your life, have your other person have access to your finances, access to your family and friends, and no.
It depends if it gets that serious.
Right. I don't think when you dealing with somebody on the set, you don't have to open up your family, friends, and money and bank accounts and all that stuff.
Y'all talking about whole relationships. I'm sorry.
Right.
Whole relationships that y'all talking about where you just bringing somebody in for sexual purposes.
That's it.
But that's how they
But
grow.
they leave at the end of the day.
Just like that person you were originally with, it grew into a relationship. When you having sex with someone, it grows to that.
Not if it's just sex.
Want it or not. It does, because you have a feeling for that person, and you stop that at the door.
Okay,
or you
so
stop calling them when that feeling gets serious.
We got a few couples. We talked about Monique and Sydney already in their open relationship. We got Will and Jada.
Will and
married
Jada.
since 1997.
Absolutely.
She said that now, but at first she said she trusted her husband to do what was right. That was her.
So that man.
No, she never said no. She would always say things like that in terms of them
my
having
husband to do what's right.
To do what's right, and
Ooh,
he's
y'all
a
got
grown
some
man.
man.
But this is what he was just. What's so wrong with saying no? We got a caller? No. Okay.
They were 20 something when
there's
they
a
got
call.
married.
Okay, there's a call. Caller.
Hi, it's Lisha. Y'all miss me?
Oh, you miss me. Lisha G on the air, y'all. Y'all hear her? Y'all heard her? What you
Hey.
Lisha, are you
What's
here?
What's going on?
We're talking about open marriages.
So, real talk, I don't know where you are in the show because I just got a break and we're like walking to dinner. We just left out of the meeting and I'm on my way to dinner, but I had to call in and let y'all know that I love y'all and I miss y'all.
We love you. We miss you too. We at the end. We at the last 3 minutes of the show.
I can't hear you because it's breaking up in downtown.
That's what it is.
We're at the last 3 minutes of the show.
Tell them to stop so you can talk.
Well, perfect. I timed it perfectly. I got to call and say that I love y'all and put my kiss on the show. So I'm going to hang up, okay?
But you ain't give an answer. You think you slick, but okay.
I can't hear you.
Open marriage.
I'm against it.
Okay.
Come on, you know what the Bible says. You know what the Bible says.
She a hater.
right. I need somebody on my side.
There's not many people.
Yes, it is. We said Will and Jay.
Eden call in.
But you accusing people. You allegedly.
We got another caller? Okay.
Hey.
Hey.
Eden.
Hi, Eden.
Hi, Eden.
Hey, what's going on?
We got 1 minute. So, what's your stance? Open marriage, yeah or no?
Hell no. No to the open marriage. Not going down. And I'm gonna tell you why. And I'm gonna make it super, super quick because I know this just studying and looking at people. It's this thing when people are not careful with their space and with their energy. And when you're not careful in your space with your energy and you don't know that you can manifest into your higher being, what you do is you create the space where you invite other energy into yourself. And I firmly believe in once you're intimate with that person, you have taken on their aura and their space. Once you're taking that on, you're taking on other people's things. Then you're bringing that into your marriage. And that's how I know from having a friend who fucked up. Oh, I'm sorry if I can't even. I'm sorry if I curse, but jacked up his marriage, and he is now divorced. When I tell you that energy in the space, and if you cannot manifest to your highest aura, it is going to jack up everything. Hell no to the damn open marriages.
Wow, you know what, Eden? I'm going to take what you said, and we're going to let it be. No to the open marriage, because Eden said you will not jack up my space, and you're not going to put your negative energy.
Love y'all. This is my first time listening in. I definitely had to call in to my sister-in-law, Leslie.
Thank you so much for calling, and I hope you tune in on next week. We didn't get a chance. Right. Thank you so much. We didn't get a chance to get into all of the rest of the people, all of the rest of the celebrities who had open marriages, but it's irrelevant because they got other people in their space with bad energy. So we're going to do that. Listen, y'all, stay tuned next week. Hot button topics. This is basically our rant session. There's been several videos online that we need to address. You'll see on the Sunset Soul page, and of course we'll make a commercial to let you know some of the things that we'll be discussing. If you have liked the page and you've already saw me post several questions and several videos with the topic thoughts and give me your opinions, those will be the discussion topics on next week, but I will still keep you posted. Thank you so much for tuning in every week. I appreciate all of your support, and we'll see you next week. Well, I get it, Ella. I get it. Thank you so much, Cousin Ella. Thank you, Lisa, Eden, Lane, everybody I didn't support, Warren, everybody that just tuned in.
Lisha G.
Lisha. See y'all next week.
We love
you. Even as a comedian, if I say a joke and it just might not fit your cup of tea, but it's mine, that's what a comedian is supposed to do.